Hey guys, I'm back. Today's lesson we will be talking about how to add and subtract mixed numbers. By the time we are done, you can do it while you're playing your favorite video game. If you have not watched our previous video on mixed numbers, you should probably watch that video first. Remember, a mixed number is a whole number and a fraction shown together. Let's first practice how to add a whole number to a mixed number. Even though the plus sign is not shown between a whole number and the fraction, they are to be added as well. For example, 3 and 2/5 is 3 plus 2/5. So, 5 plus 3 and 2/5 is 5 plus 3. Plus 2/5, which is 8 and 2/5. Now, that's not so hard.
Mixed numbers. Mixed numbers.
It gets a bit tricky when you're adding and subtracting mixed numbers by a fraction. So let's take a look at this problem. This is 2 plus 1/3 plus 1/3, and since 1/3 and 1/3 have the same denominator, they are called like fractions. And if we are calculating like fractions, we can just rewrite our denominator, then add or subtract our numerators. Our denominator is 3, and 1 plus 1 is 2. 2/3 plus is 2, and 2/3. If the fraction part can be simplified, you can just go ahead and simplify, but in this case, there is no number that can go into both our denominator and our numerator without leaving a remainder. Now, let's talk about adding mixed numbers. To mixed numbers, if they have like fractions, meaning the denominator are the same, it works the same way. Take 2 and 2/7 minus 1 and 1/7, for example. Let's rearrange our problem. We are going to group our whole numbers together and our fractions together. Now that's better. We are going to subtract our numerator. 2 minus 1 is 1. So the numerator for our answer is 1. And we're just going to write back our denominator. Now, for our whole number, 2 minus 1 is 1. Our answer is 1 and 1/7. See? That wasn't so hard. Now, we're adding and subtracting mixed numbers that are unlike fractions. 3 and 2/5 plus 1 and 1/2. If we rearrange our problem, you will notice that the denominators are different. So we have to use a different method to arrive at our answer. We need to change our fraction to an equivalent fraction so that our bottom numbers are the same. We talked about different methods to do this in our previous video, so you can check it out when we are finished here. Let's rearrange our problem. Our first method is to find the least common multiple or the least common denominator. To do this, we are going to list multiples of 5 and the multiples of 2. Then, find the least common multiple to write as our denominator. The multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15. Let's stop here for now. The multiples of 2 are 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. We are going to stop at 10 because 10 is our LCM, or least common multiple. 10 is our denominator for our equivalent fractions. To get to 10, we multiplied by 2, so we are going to multiply our numerator by 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Our numerator for our first fraction is 4. For our second fraction, to get to 10, we multiplied by 5, so we are going to multiply our numerator 1 by 5. 5 times 1 is 5. Our numerator for our second fraction is 5. Now that our denominators are the same, we can write back our denominator, then add 5 plus 4. 9 is our numerator. Now we can go back for our whole numbers. 3 plus 1 is 4. Our answer is 4 and 9/10. Method 2 is my favorite method. For method 2, we are going to form unit fractions and use our unit fractions to multiply our fraction. The denominator of our second fraction is 2, so we are going to multiply our first fraction by 2 over 2. The denominator of our first fraction is 5, so we are going to multiply our second fraction by 5 over 5. 2 times 2 is 4, and 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 1 is 5, and 5 times 2 is 10. 4 plus 5 is 9, and we write back our denominator, 10. Yes! We then add our whole numbers. 3 plus 1 is 4. The answer is 4 and 9/10. This cannot be simplified, so 4 and 9/10 is our final answer. Always check to see whether or not your answer can be simplified. One more example. 5 and 1/4 plus 7 and 1/2. Let's rearrange our problem. Okay, let's start with our second method this time. The denominator of our second fraction is 2, so we are going to multiply our first fraction by 2 over 2. And the set in the denominator of our first fraction is 4, so we are going to multiply our second fraction by 4 over 4. 2 times 1 is 2, and 4 times 2 is 8. 2/8 is equivalent to 1/4. 4 times 1 is 4, and 4 times 2 is 8. 4/8 is equivalent to 1/2. Now, we have 5 plus 7 plus 2/8 plus 4/8. 5 plus 7 is 12, so our whole number is 12. 4 plus 2 is 6, and we are going to put back our denominator, 8. Our answer is 12 and 6/8. Now 6/8 can be simplified because 2 can go into both the denominator and the numerator. 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. Our answer is 12 and 6/8, or 12 and 3/4. Now, for method 2. Of course, let's rearrange our problem. We are going to list the multiples of 4 and 2, then select our LCM. The multiples of 4 are 4, 8, and 12. Let's stop here for now. The multiples of 2 are 2, 4. We are going to stop here because we are seeing a common multiple. Now, to add, 5 plus 7 is 12, and we are going to put back our denominator. Our answer is 12 3/4. See, that wasn't so hard. Just a little side note before I allow you to practice on your own. If in your answer you have a whole number and an improper fraction, you need to convert it into a mixed number and add the wholes together for your final answer. For example, if your answer is 3 and 5/4, 5/4 is an improper fraction, so there is a whole number in there somewhere. 4 into 5 is 1, and it leaves a remainder of 1, which you can put over to 4. And since you already have a whole number, 3, you can add it to your 1 and make it 4. Your answer is 3 and 5 over 4. Or 4 and 1/4.